Chefs fam, how are you guys? Say hi, Zaddy. Say hi. Say hi. So Anila has a stiff neck. She woke up crying and stuff, so she's been just relaxing, and Zada just wants to be in the camera the whole time. But I wanted to do a quick intro because as you guys saw in the title, I am sharing my famous and special chicken tikka masala recipe. Okay, I don't know if it's famous and special, but I'm not really a cook, and actually this is one of the recipes that it actually comes out really good. So I've used like a couple of like YouTube videos, and I've just mixed like a couple of like what other people have done, and I came up with my own recipe. I just modified it and made it my own. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys try it out because it's really good. Hubby loved it, and I'm making the intro actually after I made this video because I made it early morning. It's not more time. It doesn't take more time. It just takes more of me just being there. So like I like to do it early morning, get it over with, because then the girls start pulling me. They need me, and you kind of need to be there like doing. You'll see what I mean. So I like to do it early morning, so I didn't do an intro then, so I'm doing the intro after, and it actually came out really good. So I hope you guys try it out, and thank you for everyone that has subscribed to our channel, that watches us, that supports us. We appreciate it so much, and we're so happy. And yeah, so I'll come back and close out the video.
Alright guys, so we're starting off by heating up some oil. I usually use like the cap of the oil bottle to measure, so the larger one has about like 3 in there and the smaller one had 2. I need 2 of these pans because you need to spread out the chicken, and the power usually is on medium high. So just making sure it's nice and hot. I usually leave it heating up while I prepare everything else. So here I am taking out the chicken. I left it marinating overnight. You can leave it marinating about at least for an hour and then do it, but I always do it overnight just in case. I want to make sure it's nice and flavorful. So what I use in the marinade is 2 teaspoons of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1 tablespoon of yogurt, half a teaspoon of salt, half a lemon, and I think that's and 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste. Then you make sure to mix that all together, and there you go, you have your yummy marinade. Now you see these are chicken breasts, pieces of chicken breast cut up, and we are frying them, and you want to individually fry them. So you want to make sure you separate them. And some people use thighs instead of chicken breast, and I think that may come out maybe like a little more juicy and flavorful. They say chicken breast is just healthier, but I definitely do want to try the thighs one day, see how that comes out. So you can always experiment with that if you like. So here I am just turning them around, just checking them. You know, you want to turn them around once you start seeing like they get like that brown nice color. You turn them around. A lot of people say you don't have to cook it fully because you cook it a little bit more when you put it with the whole sauce, but I'm always paranoid that my chicken's not cooked fully, so I just like to get it cooked pretty much where it's like completely cooked, just to make sure, you know, they're all cooked at the end. So once that was cooking, I wanted to get started on cutting my onions. You want 2 medium-sized onions, but I think the chicken was being done, so I started paying closer attention to that. You don't want it to burn or get overdone, and I'm going to reuse that big pan to finish my sauce with, because it has the seasoning already from all the chicken, so you don't want that to burn either because you're going to keep using that pan. So the chicken was being done already. You see me taking them out, and I'm turning them over, and I'm starting to take them out and just put them in a container. So I finish up the rest of the sauce. Guys, look at the nice brown color. Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's time to finish cutting up these onions. You want to cut them up into little pieces, and I'm on a race. I don't want to start crying. And it was a victory because I didn't cry. I was so happy. How many of you guys hate that? Oh God, once I start crying, I don't stop. Okay, now it's time to add that butter. So I lowered the heat of the pan just to make sure it didn't burn all the way to lowest as I cut up the onions, and then I raised it up again to, I think it was like level 4, so it could heat up again, and then I add the butter. And now here I'm like, oh my god, this is a lot of butter. So guys, you have to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and usually sometimes I have a butter that you can measure. It comes already with the measuring, but I didn't, so I wasn't sure. So at first I'm like, oh god, this piece is too big. Then finally I cut a little piece and I was like, all right, I think this looks like 2 tablespoons. But I think I didn't even end up putting everything I put in the pan because it was just too much, and I was like, oh god, this is way too much. So guys, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then normally I would add a little bit of oil again, but I think I was just so overwhelmed because it was just too much butter. So I forgot to add that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it had enough grease in there already. So here I am, guys, throwing out a piece of it because I saw there was a lot of butter, and then I was like, you know what, this is more than enough. So I took out that piece of butter, and now in goes the onions, and we're going to scrape off all of that yummy seasoning from the pan and mix it in together with the onions. You want to make sure the onions get nice and cooked and brown, and then we continue to the rest. So now that the onions are all brown and cooked, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 teaspoons of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and some salt. Or you could do half a teaspoon of salt. And 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, and mix, mix, mix. Let it cook for about 30 seconds. Then we add 2 cups of tomato puree, and we have to let that cook on low-medium heat for about 10 minutes. Make sure it's tomato puree, and make sure to, cook it for 10 minutes so it'll taste yummy. Okay, so once that puree is cooked, we're gonna add the chicken, but honestly, most of the times I add the heavy whipping cream first, then I add the chicken. But today I guess I wanted to be different. I added the chicken first, stir that a little bit, and then we're gonna add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. But honestly, guys, I always tend to add a little bit more after. So how you know if you need to add more is you taste it, and if it's bitter, because of the puree, you want to add more whipping cream, and that's what helps with that. So you mix, mix, mix. We're almost done getting that nice orangey color, and then we let it sit there for about medium-low, about 10 more minutes, just to make sure everything is nice cooked and mixed in well. Okay guys, so I'm gonna do my taste test, and yep, I needed more whipping cream like I said. So I would think maybe you need to add like 1.5 cups, and I added just a little more salt too, and after that it was perfect. So at the end you just garnish it with some cilantro leaves, but I didn't have any. This is a picture of when I did it before, and that's how it would look.
Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope you guys try it out. It was really good. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell notification. And like we always say, have a beautiful and blessed life.